This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me. This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
Gabe is a great friend of mine and one of the hardest workers I know. If there is anything that needs done right, I know Gabe is the person to get it done. Gabe goes about his daily routine to be the best possible version of himself and does not take shortcuts.
In the realm of sports, the saying, hard work pays off, is constantly thrown around. But what a lot of people don't know is that hard work is not just the process of working out or doing physical activity. It is so much more that can make or break the difference between being great and being average. During my sophomore year of track and field, I found myself in quite a standstill and could not get my body to feel right, and the results were definitely showing. I kept thinking to myself, I don't feel good, but I don't understand why, because I'm doing everything that is asked of me. Unknown to me at the time, just because I was doing everything that was asked of me did not mean that I was working hard. This is when I took a hard look in the mirror and asked myself if I was doing everything that I could possibly do to be the best that I could possibly be. After using my resources and my support system, I concluded that there were other steps I was skipping on the path to being great. So I decided right then and there that I would not be average version of myself any longer, and I would start to be great. I started writing down in my notebook what I could do better to be the best version of myself as an athlete. After I had everything that I wanted written down, the hard part came, the accountability. This is where I struggle the most, because when wanting to be great, your biggest opponent or enemy is oftentimes yourself. When I was battling these voices in my head, I would constantly ask myself, do you really want to be great? Are you satisfied not winning and taking home a third or fourth place finish? This is where I found my biggest satisfaction. By doing right things, taking the necessary steps, and having a positive attitude, I fell in love with the grind and hard work. It felt just like it did when I was a kid. Instead of viewing track and field as a job, it once again became a game, which was something that I enjoyed doing and loved. Just because I felt like I was working hard and doing things the right way did not mean that I was satisfied. It was time for the results to show at the biggest stage of my track and field season, the conference meet. For the first time in a long time, I felt prepared to do big things and came in not just expecting a great performance, but needing it. I was itching at the skin to get this meet going, and by the time the first gun went off, the first two performances showed. I had a great first two events of the decathlon, and found myself leading after 3 events. Just when I thought things were going to fall into my lap, adversity struck. I had 2 awful events to close out day 1 of the competition, and I felt lost. I was beat and could not get out of my own head. Just when I was ready to give up, I opened my notebook and looked at what I wrote down. It said, go into this weekend with a smile and have fun. Own the finish line. This gave me all the motivation I needed, and went out and ran a PR in all 5 of day 2 events, and found myself standing at the top of the podium. Hard work is not easy to do. If it were, everyone would do it. Without hard work, I would be complacent, being average, and would not have achieved all the great things that I have. Therefore, I will say, I will stay true to what has made me me, which is not being afraid of hard work and going the extra mile or taking the extra steps.